If you're like me and do a lot of traveling, you end up in cities and towns that you're not familiar with, driving down the highway, pushing buttons, trying to find your favorite kind of music. Well, a guy named Art Vuolo in Ypsilanti has solved this problem for us with a new thing called the Radio Guide.
The Radio Guide lists the call letters, format, and location on the dial of every radio station in 24 major cities across the country.
And what this is a little dial card that says, "Welcome to Detroit." So when you come to Detroit, you find one of these hanging on the knob of your car. Now imagine the guy that just flew in from New York. He's never been to Detroit before. He knows now what he can listen to while he's visiting the city. I mean, there are people that live here that don't know what the radio stations are. You can imagine how the guy from out of town feels. He's totally lost. He's careening halfway off the road trying to find a good station.
There's a series of guides that categorizes a city's radio stations according to the type of music they play. And there's a radio guide that lists the radio stations that you'd find driving down any interstate highway in the country.
Basically, the way the concept started of radio guides is that college students, when I was a student at Eastern Michigan University a long time ago, they would hand me their road atlases, and they would ask me to mark all along the highways between Michigan and Fort Lauderdale, where they'd go for spring break, all the good radio stations that they could listen to. So when they got south of Toledo or Dayton or Cincinnati or into Kentucky or Tennessee, they could find rock and roll on their radio. Then I figured there's a lot of people that are traveling on the highway that get 100 miles away from home. They start pushing the buttons on their car radio, and they can't find what it is that they're looking for. So what they do is they start slowly scanning the dial, trying to find a good station. They finally find one that's good, and it's 30 miles that way, and they're going this way, and in another 20 minutes, that station is faded out.
Art receives thousands of letters every month requesting the Radio Guide. He must spend countless hours answering requests and doing extensive research to keep his guides up to date. But he admits that he does get plenty of help.
People write to me and send me, here you can see, tons of letters from people. These are all updates and corrections. Sometimes radio station managers write to me and tell me that they got one of my radio guides and noticed mistakes.
If you're interested in ordering the Radio Guide, you can send 50 cents per copy to Radio Guide, Post Office Box 219-T, Ypsilanti, Michigan, 48197. And maybe your button-pushing days will be over.
When you travel as much as I do, those radio guides come in mighty handy.